Books have been our best friends since the day they came into existence, from carving on the stones and rocks, to papyrus scrolls, to invention of paper, to the invention of Gutenberg printing press, to modern ebooks. We have come a long way. But while books have changed their form, their purpose has remained the same. They've always helped us make sense of the world around us and the world within us. Books have a unique way of reaching the world within us, much more subtle and unique. In a world that moves too fast, books invite us to slow down. They offer a space to feel, reflect, and heal. And this healing power has a name. It is called Bibliotherapy. Hi guys, my name is Alison Price and welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I will be talking about bibliotherapy. What is bibliotherapy? The term bibliotherapy comes from a combination of two Greek words, biblion meaning book and therapia meaning healing. It is a way of using carefully chosen stories, novels, comics, poems, and other literary works to help you understand yourself, to help you cope with problems, and to grow. This is not just about reading a self-help advice. It's much more than that. It's reading a story and connecting with it so deeply that it feels like going on a magical journey into the depths of our unconscious, where we visit the recesses of our minds that we've kept neglected for years and encounter spaces and desires that we never knew existed. How does bibliotherapy work? One of the pioneers of bibliotherapy, Dr. Caroline Schultz, wrote that bibliotherapy is made possible by shock of recognition. This is when you are reading a novel or a short story and suddenly feel, wait, this character is basically me. This is exactly what my life looks like. This happened to me when I was reading the book Siddhartha, written by Hermann Hesse. I could relate to the protagonist Siddhartha so well. We had same goal in life, that is to know the ultimate truth, and our journey also was somewhat similar. Anyways, when you experience shock of recognition, three powerful things usually happen. First, identification. You start to identify with the character because their story mirrors your own experiences, thoughts, or relationships. Second, catharsis. You feel a wave of emotion and sometimes finally cry, feel anger or relief. Third, insight. Once the emotions move, you begin to gain insight into your own situation and see patterns and needs you hadn't fully recognized before. Think about Spider-Man. On the surface, it's all web-slinging and villains. But if you look closer, Peter Parker is constantly juggling school, money problems, family responsibilities, and the pressure to be good enough. Now imagine a teenage boy exhausted from exams, family expectations, and social drama, reading a Spider-Man comic at night. At some point, the boy will think, wait, this is literally me. I'm also trying to do everything for everyone and feeling guilty when I can't. That realization, that jolt, that shock of recognition is bibliotherapy in action. The comic suddenly stops being just entertainment and becomes a mirror. The reader feels less alone and may even start asking, if Peter deserves compassion, maybe I do too, and thus begins the journey of healing. The neurology of storytelling. Why does this happen? Why do we identify with the characters or the life situations from a book or a comic? The reason behind this is our brains are wired to respond to stories. The stories activate multiple regions of the brain involved in language processing, sensory perception, and emotion regulation. When we hear a story, our brains simulate the experiences of characters and allow us to experience their emotions, thoughts, and actions. Thus, your brain literally treats the story as a lived experience, not just information. There are plenty of real life examples of those who changed their trajectory of lives just because of the books they read. Nelson Mandela, during his 27 years in prison, drew psychological strength from literature and poetry, especially the poem Invictus, which became a mental anchor and reminder of inner freedom. Leo Tolstoy, one of the greatest novelists, went through a severe existential crisis and turned to spiritual and philosophical writings to rebuild a sense of meaning beyond fame and material success. In both these cases, words acted like lifeline, not just information, but emotional and rational support. How to practice bibliotherapy? Bibliotherapy can be practiced in many ways during a therapy session or on your own, like writing letters, creating your own poetry, or journaling, which you will find in this book. In this book by Bijal Shah, Bibliotherapy: The Healing Power of Reading. Most of the things which I have shared in this video is from this book. If you are interested in reading this book, you can buy it online or from your nearby bookstores. So, my dear friends, the next time when you open a book, remember, you may not be just reading, you may be reading your way towards healing. For the cure, my dear, are fair words.